Hey, good morning, everybody. Wow, I think I'm going to have to do a 1, 2, 3 ABC felony jingle. Everybody was mad at Denzel when he said the pathway to prison pipeline starts in the home. Now, the school, they can contribute to it by picking out on certain kids more than others here, but let's not get it twisted. I don't know about you, but I've seen the videos where these little munchkins want to beat up the teacher. Some kid, little Dusty Dan's son, slapped one teacher, then called his mama and became racial. Oh yeah, he needs to be put down. Dusty Dan's son. The American dream, the lifestyle is becoming a nightmare. The children are out of hand across all levels. Rich kids up here breaking in homes, stealing from some celebrity. Middle class poor, out of hand. Society, the fabric. There's no moral compass. The system, the family structure. People are broken. But this here, I remember when Denzel said that, and there was a lot of flack. Oh, how dare he? We know all these kids are being raised in a loving home with supportive parents and a community that cares. 11 years old, a carjacker. Oh, and it's not the first. They're labeling this one as a prolific carjacker. That means he's quite productive. He's on it. I wonder how good can he read? Can he read past the 6th grade? Can he read the Cat and the Hat book? And I understand you're right. She's I'll show the clip, fair use. She's saying accountability, but nobody wants to say the real deal. What about the parents, the family? And I don't want to hear what the mother raised and what the heck is the father. People really think, and especially some of these dust buckets, they seem to think that if the man is not around, that absolves him of his responsibility. Oh, well, he wasn't there. So just because he wasn't there, that mean it was okay? Are you really serious? He wasn't there, so it's not on him. He put the child there. His seed, unfortunately, poverty D is there. Honestly and truly. So here is an example of 1, 2, 3 ABC felony. Check it out. Fair use.
A sad state of affairs is what Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown called his announcement today that an 11-year-old boy is now in custody for a carjacking earlier this month.
Unfortunately, this 11-year-old has been arrested before, and he is considered a prolific carjacker in our city.
The 11-year-old is charged with one felony count of aggravated vehicular hijacking with a firearm. The crime taking place Sunday, November the 14th, inside the parking lot of this Jewel Osco on the 4700 block of North Cumberland at about 7:45 in the morning. Police sources telling the I-Team that the victim was his sergeant's wife, who was robbed at gunpoint. The stolen vehicle, a 2021 BMW SUV, was located several hours later on the city's south side.
The 11-year-old seems to be driving these carjackings. So he's not just there, I guess, your question, like along for the ride with some other individuals.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot today also reacting to news of such a young child arrested in connection with such a serious offense.
I'm going to be meeting with the juvenile judges here relatively soon to address that issue. We've got a crisis, and it's a crisis that they've got to actually own some responsibility for. We cannot keep putting these kids back out on the streets with no support, no resources, no monitoring.
And the police department telling us that this incident is not an isolated one. The 11-year-old is also being investigated for his role in several other carjackings around this.
What about the parenting? What about the parenting? That's something that no one wants to talk about. So here you had the sergeant, his spouse, wife, carjacked at gunpoint. And let me guess, the mama might say he wasn't doing nothing. And I hate to say this. This is something you can't look at this man on the screen on mere Lightfoot to fix it. Sure, they can try to, do more arrest and give him more serious time. But that's the one thing about it. People want to act like these kids just popped out of a Pop-Tart. And there it landed on the street. Out that Pop-Tart just popped out on the toaster oven, and boom, here it is. If his mother is on any kind of government assistance, I will let her know your time is about up. Y'all want to sit? If you want to sit up here and raise criminals, we're not having it. He got to go. You got to go. 11 years old. What's his reading level? Can he do math? And you did hear with a firearm. You did hear that part, right? Labeled a prolific carjacker. 11. What do you think he's been doing up to this point? See, this time he got caught. And they probably put, in my opinion, it's possible they put more attention on him because the victim was the wife of a sergeant. Oh, he's not going to let that go unchecked. They're not going to be lackadaisical like most of the men in the BC. Be careful next time. Now, if some of them get involved, it'll be because of the vehicle. Speaking for the majority, speaking as a majority, that's how I see the majority. Yeah. Do you think a prolific carjacker at 11 years old, what the hell you think he's been doing? Where's the mama? He ain't been doing nothing. Look like you ain't been doing nothing, and you had him by nothing. A poverty D. My opinion, this is the perfect example. When you carry the C, when Miss Perline, Miss Poverty P, your behind ain't thinking, and you decide to willingly carry the seed of poverty D. You give birth to 1, 2, 3 ABC felony. And you unleash this on society. And all that occurs is a tragedy. I'm telling you, poverty P with poverty D equals 1, 2, 3 ABC felony onesie. And for any and everybody else around, you can expect a tragedy. But we don't want to put the blame on the parents. Why? I don't know. Maybe they figure the parents not worth the dollar, they're already checked out, so all they can do is use the system to try to hold them in longer. And again, my point, they didn't show the child. Of course, at that age, they're not going to. Justice reform. For some of the same people you want to talk about justice reform, let it be you facing the barrel of that gun and you coming out of your belongings. Let you be a victim of it. But that's one thing I noticed. They don't want to talk about parenting. Maybe they know the parents aren't capable of parenting, don't want to. Maybe the parents have just checked out. Where did he get that gun? They should put the parents on blast. I tell you, if they were to start, when they get these underage kids, arresting the parents too, you might see a difference. But I'm really starting to believe the parents are looking the other way because guess what? They probably get whatever that little thing sell the car for, whatever at the chop shop, whatever his motive is, they're probably getting in on the action. I heard a black woman say they said she'd tell her son, go find me something, not go get a job. And at this point, he couldn't because he had some felonies. And I couldn't believe, unfortunately, she passed away, but he said his mom would tell him, go find something. So he'll just go out in the community walking around. And he's like, that means go steal. His mother, Adustina, need to get out there and find me something. Wow. I thought about that. You don't have a chance because look how you're raised. Get out there and then you think about it. That's probably why he was always stealing. He said his mother would tell him, you need to go out there and go find me something. And that's his cue to get up and go steal. So maybe that should be a new thing. When these kids commit these crimes, start putting a fine on the parent. Carjacking, we can start $1,000 fine. I don't have $1,000. Well, you better go get it. You might be looking at 30 days in jail. Yeah. There has to be a major change, because I'm starting to think they're going to keep on having these children for the benefits. They don't have to work like the rest of us to work as hard. Just do minimal, and the state will take care of it. But this here, prime example, 1, 2, 3, ABC felony. This is what happens when poverty P, poverty D get together and create a tragedy. Thanks for listening. I look forward to your comments. Maybe you have a difference of opinion. Feel free to comment below in the comment section. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm telling you, this is going to cause me to have to work on a 1, 2, 3, ABC felony jingle. I'm out.